Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic slash non-classic. This is episode number 863. Yeah, 63. No, it's yeah, 863. Doubleshot number 757. Like I said before, two Marvel trades. One kind of is, the other one definitely is. First up, it is Uncanny X-Men First Class Volume 2. The Knights of Hykon. This collects the last 4 issues of X-Men First Class, Uncanny X-Men First Class, 5 through 8, plus they put in here the classic Uncanny X-Men 102 to 103. Excuse me. This is written by Scott Gray, and he does pretty much like all the Uncanny X-Men First Class issues, with artwork by Scott Kubelich, Nelson Dericio, and Fernando Bonaccio. And the X-Men issues are the classic X-Men issues are done by Chris Claremont and David Cockrum. Cockrum is an artist who's since passed away. I've never met the guy. Chris Claremont, I almost got a chance to meet him, but the booth that he was at, which was also part of a another thing with selling comic books, you had to buy a particular comic for this one small area, like for a particular price. Like it's like $5 for this particular book. Like I was given like an issue of Rogue, like I just happened to find, and I was given to sign that. Plus, I also think of signing the book Sovereign 7. But you had to buy from this one area, and I thought this was really stupid on the part of people who ran this booth. I mean, it's Chris freaking Claremont. Just give him a damn book just give him any book to sign. Look enough, I have not seen him since. I really wanted to talk to him because he's one of those writers I really wanted to meet because I love this guy's work. But anyways, let's talk about this storyline. Knights of Hykon. Set up at the end of issue 4, it's a 3-parter with the X-Men take on these group of alien knights who were big heroes, used to be heroes, but then they got bored after they killed the last villain, so they went on a massacre throughout the whole universe. Yep, and then the X-Men basically pretty much beat him. It takes a while to beat him, and apparently they're known to Leandro. This is during a period of time when Leandro was living with them, and they beat them by killing their leader. Yeah, she's killed by Nightcrawler. Actually, she's killed by Xavier. So they're trapped in this fortress for the rest of their days because the armor is basically only to keep them alive. Yeah, it's particularly very weird. The last story is just a murder mystery, just a story of a character who was an old friend of Banshees, and of course this is kind of a loose follow-up to what happened with the Uncanny X-Men 102-103, where you have people just visiting Cassidy Keep, which is a castle owned by Banshee, who inherited from his late father. Yep. And I love the fact they threw in here, they reference the whole the time when they fought the Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy displays. I'm glad they threw it in here because if they didn't throw it in here, they're probably people who just read this miniseries so I have no idea what they're talking about. But look how they threw those classic stories in here, which is really good. Great book, 9.5 out of 10. It's awesome. Next up is a book that technically is published by Marvel, but it's published by their imprint. It's called Hykon. Yeah, it's an imprint that only lasts in the 2000s. It published mostly books by Mark Millar and Bendis. Yeah. What those of you curious, what books they published? They published Kick-Ass 1 through 3, Hit Girl, Red, the graphic novel that was turned into the Bruce Willis film, and let's see, there's also Scarlet, which Bendis worked on that with Alex Maleen. But this is a book that I don't think anybody knew about this book. It's just that I knew about this book via Bendis and Mark Andrego. This is Torso. This book is a book that's based upon the real-life series of murders that happened in Cleveland back in the 1930s. Yes. And of course, they do reference, now, the main character of the story, believe it or not, is Elliot Ness. I'm thinking, Elliot Ness? You mean Elliot Ness from The Untouchables? Yeah, this is actually just before he became world famous because of The Untouchables before that. Yeah, he was named the director of safety by the mayor of Cleveland at that point. I don't know who it was. I never listed him off on here. And he wanted him to clean up the corruption in Cleveland just like he cleaned up the corruption in Chicago. Yep. And then, of course, we have the series of murders with Torso, with the torso murders, which, fun fact, those of you who have heard of the infamous Black Deli murder of 1948, yeah, there was a rumor swirling around that that case was actually connected to the torso killer, but they never proved anything of it. It was just a theory that someone rolled around. But it was quite interesting of a theory. The torso killings is kind of the 20th century equivalent to Jack the Ripper via there is murders happen and the murderer is never caught. The murders stop when a guy is put into a mental asylum. Yep. Here they kind of make him one of those douchey rich guys who is insane. Oh yeah, and here's the thing. His uncle is a senator, and because of the fact this guy committed some murders, instead of, sending him to jail, or at least give the guy he sent to a mental hospital, and that's it. Yeah, and this particular book has a weird art style. Now, it's black and white, which Bendis is known for doing crimes like this. There's this one page of interrogation where you basically have to twist and turn the page. I've heard there's one other book I know that does this, and that's Trillium. Let's see if I can find it. It actually just happened toward the end of the book. Of course, this book has got tons of dialogue, like these weird connecting threads of dialogue. Look at this. This is how the dialogue comes out in this particular book. Comes out just like that. Yeah, and the panels are very small, but it's a well-told story. I like the way Bendis did this, but look up. This is by far the only book he's ever did this for. There's a times you have to read like this. Yeah. Turn on its side to read some panels. Yep. Kind of an odd artistic choice. I'm trying to find a particular scene here where it's like insane. How they do the dialogue in here. I don't think it's here. Let me try to find it here. I know because I just read this today because I know this was really weird. Here it is. Look at this. This is weird. Yeah, only 1 or 2 books I've seen like this. Yeah, they're like almost like in complete, it's almost like spiraling. I'm not sure what Bendis did this for, but he did. There's also a scene in here which Bendis talks about in the trade here of why he did this. Like, did this actually happen? Is something made up just for shock value? Yeah, there's a scene where Elliot Ness orders the burning of a shanty town in Cleveland while having all of the people who live there, all the homeless people, get arrested. Yeah, it turns out this actually did happen. Yeah, Bendis took a lot of real life stuff related to this case and just put it in here while making stuff of his own, like though this is the 1930s, and apparently this lawyer shows up this guy just the guy who they actually put in a mental institution, though I don't think it's the same guy, where he just randomly shows up at the police station. He says he wants to confess. He talks to Elliot Ness for a little while, for like few pages, and his lawyer shows up. I'm like, really? When did he call a lawyer? Like, are you going to charge him? Yeah, it's like Elliot Ness couldn't get his words out. It's like, yeah, it's particularly very weird of how Bendis writes Elliot Ness in here. But at least Elliot Ness, from what I can tell in here, from what I've heard about him in real life, yeah, that's pretty accurate to how he's depicted in real life. Except that in the Untouchables film that came out in the 80s, he had kids. Here, it's mentioned that him and his wife never had kids, and his wife left him after 7 years of marriage. It's a well-told story. I'm giving this book a 9 out of 10, but here's kind of the thing. I am not recommending this for little kids. Oh, no. Teen plus. Teens and adults. That's all I recommend this to, mainly high school to adults. That's who I recommend this to, because there's a lot of grotesque stuff in here, and I kind of wish Marvel releases under the Maxim brand. It would work really well, and I think people will buy it. But as far as I can tell, also, this is by far Bendis' first and only time he's actually done artwork. Yeah, because the guy just is a writer. Because it seems like a lot of books, does he do the artwork as well? Nope, this is his only time he did it. Also, for some reason, he draws sort of himself in the book by having this random bald guy shows up, look almost exactly like him. Yep. 9 out of 10. Not bad. Um, I do like it. I do like stuff like this. This is basically like a true crime type of story. Because these murders did happen. I've seen documentary about it. So, yeah, I know these murders did happen. I've seen a lot of documentaries, so I know for a fact a lot of stuff in here is pretty true. Well, the Channing Channel thing, I didn't know that was true until I read this thing, but yeah. So that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my reviews today, hopefully for Dragon Ball Super, One Piece, Boruto, and Seven Deadly Sins, and maybe just one other one. I think I might be able to get done today, and that's Overlord. So basically, about 5 more videos today. Okay, I'll see you next video. Bye.